without a mention of his strides in arts and crafts. There is a new world unfolding for the Nigerian arts and crafts today. It is simple to the eye. Its potentials can change the world. It is not often you find the opportunity to be confronted with an exhibition of Nigerian arts unedited. If you do, the memories linger. So it was that for a whole week, National Council for Arts and Culture put up an international exhibition of Nigerian arts and crafts in Abuja in their different expressions and diversity. It was naturally beautiful. Thousands turned out for it. Various themes and messages were articulated. Love of art radiates across all the arena. One of the beautiful aspects of the exhibition is the expose that culture is an international thing. In fact, in this exhibition, there were so many countries, and the interaction, the relationship that has been developed is a significant indication that culture and art has one voice, and internationally they can interrelate. I find it rather difficult to devote this international art exhibition with showbiz. The glamour is comparable. The global appeal no less so. Actually, this exhibition in particular is driven towards exposing Nigerian craftsmen and women to international platforms. It is not like Nigerian arts and crafts are not known to the world. They are, but National Council of Arts wants a situation where, at all times, Nigerian iconic art will be exposed to full global view. It is as well opening a window of cultural exchange among nations of the world. In line with this objective, 27 countries of the world were part of this exhibition, not merely as observers, but as participants exhibiting their own arts, interacting with the Nigerian counterparts and sharing ideas.
There's a secret in Africa that for a very long time we've not really tapped into. That's the discovering of the strength of our arts. Now, a lot of crafts are being produced in Nigeria, taken to other parts of the world, and taking the credit outside Nigeria. So what I decided to do with the International Arts and Craft is to open a new window where the ordinary Nigerian person can interact with all the networking platforms of developing arts and craft in the history of the world. We have about 27 countries. So right now, some of our arts, creative industry people have made some connection, they've made some network. Now, one other fundamental missing item is e-selling, e-marketing, which our people have not been taking advantage of. Now, people use Facebook, they use Instagram, use all these platforms to discuss love, greetings. People are doing business with them. So we've been able to untap and unlock that platform again.
Within the framework of this exhibition, Nigeria feels and actually floats what it describes as an international cultural diplomacy for peace. It finds definitive expression with Olusegun Oransewe, Nigeria's Mr. Culture and Arts.
Now, you see, cultural diplomacy is the missing link why we're having all these hate speeches, disagreements, etc. If we diplomatically accept our culture as it is, there'll be less friction in the system.
What I find interesting about the objectives of this exhibition is the fact that they are actionable objectives. Within the scope of the programs, countries and Nigerian states were given platforms to give an insight of what they are made of in terms of their culture, arts, and crafts. There are days for participating countries to give a picture of their cultures and their stance for exhibition of their crafts. Well, one of the most interesting aspects of this exhibition is the international aspect of it. So many countries were brought in to be witnesses and to be part of Nigeria's cultural exhibition or arts exhibition, and it has been very brilliant. It is possible that art thrives in tenacity. This Hungarian woman schooled her artistic soul to the making of this mosaic. For the days I was attending this exhibition, she was at it. It was not the only work on the Hungarian stand, though, in this international expo.
We are preparing from Nigerian Ankara materials. It's basically waste materials. We need to use all small pieces. And the target with this art piece is that we would like give as a present, as a gift for yes, for organizers of this event, this exhibition. Yes,
and it needs so much attention. You have been onto this since yesterday. I see.
But I can do it very fast now. Yes.
My sister Agota here is an interesting person. She's a beautiful artist who is, well, just very beautiful in her art. Mr. Agota here, we have been able to discuss a lot of things with her. What fascinates me more was the exhibition you see here on this board. Nigerian children, obviously. It was done by an Hungarian artist.
Irene Becker, she's a very famous Hungarian artist, photo artist, and she took these photos, yes, here in Nigeria, all.
So what kind of art I want to show you?
This is a art photo. It's beautiful topics, beautiful colors, very detailed pictures, really nice.
And she has a theme that same to them or just?
Same, yes. You can write there about the artist, Irene Becker. Is a very well-known artist in Europe. She won lots of prizes and awards.
Okay, she's an award winner and won a lot of prizes.
Yes.
No, obviously, based on the things you have. So you have been having people to come to talk to you?
Oh, a lot of, yes. It's very, very big success.
The experience shared from the Hungarian stand is basically a factor in the spirit of the whole exhibition. Countries of the world participating in the exhibition generally rejoice in their participation and the experience they are taking back home. Iran enjoyed rich participation too. Its exhibition stand has scores of people coming. Within the prism of cultural exchanges between nations of the world, special days were allocated to selected nations to showcase aspects of their cultural heritage to the global audience. I was armed with my camera on Bangladesh Day. Speeches apart, their participation featured dances and costumes reflecting different events and festivals in the lives of their people. There are varieties reflecting geographical location, terrain, climate, food times that are more common to the people. Not only were nation states allocated states to showcase their cultural heritage as a measure of cultural exchange, Nigerian states were similarly accorded such platforms. Ogun State is one of the beneficiaries. It did not disappoint. It came forward with its history of tie and dye, an aspect of its dress sense which it showcased. It also came forward with a variety of dances. Over 20 Nigerian states took a stand at this international expo, each state coming forward with aspects of their arts and crafts unique to it. The exhibition was so grand. A whole new world was unfolded. Nigerian people and the world community have deep attachment with the arts. The story, however, is this. There is the burning desire among conveners of this exhibition to use arts and craft to put food on the table of millions of Nigerians. As well as that, the desire to encourage the use of creative talents and skill for the glory of Nigeria, the development of humanity, and for world's creation. There are cases within the exhibition stand that speaks of people that are pushing themselves to make a difference with their arts. I'm here with a worksman, a woodworker, somebody who can make wonders, can make magic with the kind of wood he handles. You can see all these pictures. It tells you of what comes out of his brain. and in practice is here all along. Beautiful to see you work.
Thank you, sir.
Did you make all these things I see?
Yeah, the woodwork. The woodwork, all this, the mask, we make them.
And then what are the other ones? The bronze work?
Yeah, the bronze work is for somebody. He just gave us to keep it in the stand so that he can make his own market too.
So how long have you been doing this? It's beautiful. It looks beautiful to me.
Yeah, you know, after school, and I check instead of working here and there, and I love art. Art is my life. Even in school, I do art. People thought I study art. So I decided to just join and do it as a profession. You know, I've been...
So you're a professional artist now?
Yeah, I'm a professional artist.
Tell me, what does it mean to be a professional artist in Nigeria today, as far as your experience is concerned?
Yeah, as far as my experience is concerned, you know, it's not easy. For you to be an outstanding artist in Nigeria, you have to work very, very hard. And you have to be doing something exceptional. You understand?
Yeah. So what does it mean? What do you mean working hard? And what do you mean do things exceptional? Tell me.
Like normal day-to-day work, you know, you work 6 hours. No. You as an artist, like me, after working in my workshop, you understand, even at home, I do some other work like sketching, drawings, you understand. I can't just, I find it idly sitting down just like that, even resting at night. So mostly I work late nights, and when I sleep in the morning.
You don't rest?
No, I rest. When you rest like from around 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning, you have rest enough.
So you
have rest? Yes.
But is it fulfilling? At the end of the day,
I have that fulfillment, you understand. It's just my own way of
not only fulfillment because you are a professional, you want to do the job, you get money out of it.
Yeah, I make money out of it also, but most of the work I do at home is not for money, it's just for my own joy, you understand.
You do it and pleasure.
Yeah.
So for how long have you been coming to exhibitions like that?
I've not gone lots of exhibitions, you understand, because mostly we do work in our workshop, and we just display everything there.
So you sell?
Yeah, we sell.
To who? Who are your customers mainly?
Mainly our major customers actually are not Nigerians. Like Europeans, China, you understand.
So they are gift items.
Yeah, they take it, some buy it as a souvenir, you understand, some gift items, and some use it as a decoration in their own houses. Yeah.
I'm concerned. Committed and happy as this cover is, I wonder whether he's bringing people up. His response is an insight into the mind of Nigerian youth as far as hard work is entailed.
Not yet, but if I can get some other boys, I can train them. But mostly the problem now is that you hardly find youths that are ready to work hard, you understand, to put their mind into something last. So
coming to this exhibition now, what has been your experience?
It's very joyful, it's very good, you know, you will see different kind of work. The ones you have not even imagined, you will see it, and then you will add it to yourself, you understand. Like now I know the concepts and mediums I can still use and produce different kind of work apart from this carving work.
As noble as this exhibition is, it also features pre-skills acquisition workshops and training segments. This is a big deal. One of the most abiding legacy of this project is obviously the hands-on training that is given to various classes of youth in various forms of art, crafts, and fashion indeed. My sister Jane Michael here is a trainer on fashion. And when I ask her about fashion, she said anything, any language that fashion can speak. The people who are receiving hands-on training here are getting them. Beautiful work you are doing, Madam Jane. Obviously. So for how long have you been doing it?
I've been doing this for 15 years now.
15 years? No, you come to this expo.
Yeah, this is the third year now.
The third year. And how many people do you have now that you are training?
For now, I think we are up to 300. 300, yeah.
And under this short...
Yes, sir. And you can see they're all doing well. They all did all this.
So show me.
Okay. As you can see, this is actually what we started with.
I like this, the shoes.
Yes. We use, this is like a rubber shoe.
Okay.
We might use the Ankara to wrap it.
Add value.
Yes, add value to it. We also have like the betul sopas.
Show me anything you have. Show me.
This is just an ordinary betul sopas. You know, so instead of just being a betul sopa, we can just add some things on it to make it look beautiful. Like, you can also wear it out, like taking it out for a party or office or something.
Yeah. Obviously, what these people are doing mostly is to add value to what exists already. Mr. Jane here is telling me that this is a bathroom slippers. Obviously, it is. You can't miss it. But then they add value to it. They use an ankara and design it finely. It looks chic. You can take it to parties or to wherever you think. Souvenirs, obviously, and a lot more things like that.
Proudly Nigeria.
Yes, obviously, proudly Nigerian, she said. Now, apart, you treat only shoes or you do other things?
We do a lot. Look at the fascinators.
Okay.
We did all this.
This is a wig or what?
No, like this, just for your hair. You can do it like this.
Oh, it looks glorious. Yeah, it looks glorious. Yeah, obviously. So you all do it here?
So many. So many. This is another one. Different concepts,
Oh, fine. Yeah.
And then we have the fan. Like,
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
this actually made from petals.
Okay.
Petals, the one we use for decoration.
Okay. So you
So
just collect, it's like a confetti.
Yeah, we just have to be very, very innovative.
Yeah, innovative.
Turn it into like an fan
Oh.
for parties.
Okay. Jen, tell me, you are doing this for free?
Yeah, for free.
Or I thought you have not been brought here by the National Council for
I'm
Arts.
actually under them, but whatever I'm doing is for free.
But what of the materials that you buy? The
They
material.
provided it.
Oh,
Yeah, the NCS provided.
And the people, how do you bring the people? Do you charge them?
No, for free.
Sure.
Yeah. Just to empower them and make them better youths of tomorrow.
Okay. But are they learning?
Of course, you can see what they've done. Oh, sorry. Sir. Where is the feather umbrella? Is it here?
Okay.
No, it's not yet. Oh my God. Why? Okay. This is an umbrella made with Ankara fabric.
Jen is apparently telling me that this is uniquely Nigerian. But I think the unique thing about this is the ingenuity that is being brought to bear into the making of these things like that. Just you use your brain and come up with the inventive ideas, and it works well for them. They obviously.
My glass case.
Oh, obviously.
Proudly Nigeria, sir.
This young woman is actually a beneficiary of this training, and her excitement knows no bounds. Oh, a beautiful thing you are wearing. It looks pleasing to me.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
You make it here or you come to look for it?
I learned it here from my teacher there. So I made it myself using an Ankara to wrap it, and you can see it looking very nice on me. This is my earring, and this is my necklace. I even have my bangle. So yeah, and even what I'm wearing on my foot. So I learned so many things. I'm very, very grateful.
I didn't
to
get
this
your name.
program.
What's your name, you say?
My name is Charity.
Okay, Charity, come.
Yeah.
You mean by the time you came to this place,
Yeah.
you cannot make sense like that?
I didn't. There was no single day. I couldn't even make anything. But after a week or two, let me just say, few days, I learned so many things. I learned how to make these, my bangle, my necklace, my earrings, so many things. Also, even my fascinators.
So how do you know this thing is taking place? How do you know it is happening?
Okay. I was actually told by my friend that has been attending it. She attended the one of last year.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, I can't miss this opportunity to learn this. So I had to like just grab it with all hands to come and learn this. And I'm very, very, very happy. I'm so very excited.
So now that you learned, what is next? What is the next thing? What's the next thing for you?
For we to learn.
You have learned these things.
Yeah, I've learned.
What is the next stage for you now?
And next stage, like what I would
What
advise.
will you do with the skill you learned?
Definitely. I'm going to start up a business. I'm an evil lady. I'm going to start a business with this. Start up a small business, and hopefully by God's grace, it's going to grow and people are going to like what I made by my hand. This time around, I don't have to go and use my CV and go searching for job, please, from one office to another, because I know I can actually do all these things. And I'm so very happy because
So how much
I've been
did you pay to come here?
I paid nothing. This is just so very, it's free, and I'm very, very happy.
West Wales Clinics is another remarkable feature of this exhibition. Great by all means. This is an old tire. These have been wasted tires. They have been thrown away. Apparently, those who threw them away thought they have done with them for good and for life. Well, it is not so much so, because people who knows how to take advantage of things like that are now transforming tires like these ones into beautiful items of furniture like these ones. Can you believe? Inside here is a used tire. But see how it has been finely dressed to look beautiful as a beautiful item of furniture that everybody would adore. You talk of waste-wealth training. I think I've gotten it here. Madam,
Sir.
how has it been going? What a beautiful thing you are having here.
Beautiful. We started this training on Monday, and so far our people have been able to learn.
How many people have you been able to train so far on this?
Over 50. Over 100. Over 50 people have learned. You can see these are some of the samples our apprentices have produced. This is their assignment, and these some of them
Okay.
that they've done. Bring the staff.
So it's not only about old tire that you use.
Yes. We recycle old tires to valuable things like center table, chairs, executive chairs. You can see this with rolling leg.
Oh, okay.
So we recycle a lot of.
So it doesn't have to be the tire. Maybe you cut the tires. Sometimes you cut them to shape them into things you want.
Different shapes.
Okay.
Then we use other materials.
Okay.
To get the finishing.
Okay.
You can see, this is made by that woman. This is also produced by this lady you are still standing.
Oh, okay.
here. So all from waste. We pick them from gutters and wash them. Now they can make a living out of this.
What is beautiful about this is that over 100 people have been trained. People that before had no skill, had no means of income. Mila Mahmoud has an interesting story to tell. He is an artist, and these are examples of his art. But then, the beauty of his art is that he is using a medium, a straw medium, which he says many feel is a waste. But he's using it to turn beautiful things into wealth. He is a wealthy man using a straw. Yes. But looking at these things, it looks like it's going to be painstaking. Because what you are telling me is all these things are these constructs which you are using.
Yes.
It must be laborious.
It is very, very painstaking, and you have to exercise caution and care in order to get results like this. You know, you have to go through the process of peeling the construct and dressing it, and also applying gum in order to stick it to the sketch.
The arts and crafts exhibition is generally a beautiful experience, an exposition that there is wonderful life to be discovered in arts and crafts, and it can be used for national advantage. On the day of the clothing ceremony, that picture was given a realistic symbolism. There was the official launch of the International Diplomacy for Peace. The night of the clothing ceremony was restless. In between breathtaking drums are what many participants are going back homeward from the exhibition.
In Culture for Peace and Unity, you could see this lady that exhibited the drum beater. You know what she has exhibited? All her artists, they are wearing different attires of Nigeria. When you come to Abuja, Abuja is a culture of national unity. An occasion such as this exhibits Nigeria, brings Nigeria out as a nation that everybody belongs to everybody.
It is only fitting that the Director General of the National Council for Arts and Culture had the last word on this exhibition.
I feel extremely fulfilled that Nigeria is able to showcase one of the best to the whole world. Today, we've been to open Nigeria frontier to the whole world. I say here we are. We have what it takes in art and craft. We are networking Nigerian art and craft in the whole world. We also was brought in diplomatic peace initiative. This is a new product. We cannot continue to wait for all over the world to tell us what to do. So this is the new opening and a new beginning for us.
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
And yellow, the jungle, with the initiative, but there's a swift counter there by Dang Autankudawa. They are sweating it out there. Quite literally, you can see how much beads of sweat. Oh, see the razzmatazz there from Algerin meat Basra, and I like it. So much resistance level in him, so much resistance. And I bet you, Algerin mate Kwasara has a lot to do here today. Yeah, it's Aljanin Dogon Ebola taking on Bahagun and Sanda. Aljanin Dogon Ebola is the one where, and Aljanin Dogon Ebola has been killed. Something stylish about them. And Bahagun and Sanda is also dramatic about it.
Welcome to Conversations on NTA Network, a program that's about you and me. And today we have some fantastic guests in the conversations room. I'll leave them to introduce themselves.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Maimuna Umi Abdullah, Coach Didi. I'm a personal development as well as a mental health coach.
Awesome.
Prince Kevin Fife, security and energy consultant and a public good advocate.
Great.
My name is Titi Ojo. I'm a business and communications coach.
All right, awesome. So, in the spirit of celebrating the Nigerian woman, in the spirit of International Women's Day, Women's Month, we're still doing that here in the conversations room. And today we're going to be focusing on the refined woman. How refined are we as Nigerian women? So, the conversations team went to the streets, spoke to some people, and we'll be hearing their opinions right now. Stay with us.
Good manners, comportment and all of that. It's kind of been on a decline in society generally, and a lot of people just wave it off. You get it, but maybe if you catch them in formal settings, they might want to uphold all of that. But ladies, I think when you think about it, especially with our culture, that you tell ladies to sit right, all of that. So yeah, I think ladies do have more good manners than guys. Yeah.
So I feel we are assimilating cultures of different foreign kind of areas and so on, because the Nigeria culture, as we know, our tradition is basically not that. So I feel our mode of dressing as ladies has apparently changed a lot.
Example, I'm a Yoruba. I can say it has diminished right from then. It has diminished, it has reduced drastically. Even in Yoruba, whereby we hold on to that the culture of good manners and good behavior. We don't normally in the olden days in my village, we normally prostrate, lie down flat for our elders. But now, hardly will you see someone bending like this, talk less of prostrating. We are now in era of handshake. Someone who is old enough to be your father, stretching your hand to him to shake him. Women now see all these immoral things as a normal way of life now. They see prostitution as they call there is something they call it now. They will say hooking up. What are you hooking up? You are hooking up. You are nonsense. And guys too, they see drinking, substance abuse as flexing. So who is fooling who?
The girl that doesn't greet or show good manners, they don't actually value that girl at all. This our community. I always feel that okay, her parents didn't train her well, this and even it's not even hard. They actually blame. They always blame the parents for not training her well and stuff like that. Anything men does is right, even if it's wrong. The society takes it as it's right because they are guys. They can do anything they don't feel like.
Actually, it is not true. Just like I said before, it depends on the environment you grew up. Environment actually changes people's behavior. There are a lot of women out there that are very, very good. You talk to them, they respond in a very polite way and in a very mannered way. So I don't believe that women have changed. There are a lot of them out there, both in the offices, they dress well. Those ones that are not dressing well, there are few among the ones that are dressing well and are mannerless too.
The society now, we feel, okay, it is me, it is my thing, it is my body or whatever. It is whatever I want to do, whatever I want to wear, that's what I'll wear. And then we actually, as ladies, we don't feel like the society is looking up to us. We don't feel like even our younger ones that are coming up are looking up to us. They'll just be like, everybody have his life. Oh. Anybody that wants to do like this should do like this. If I want to do like this, I do my thing. But the truth is, the society we are, as Africans, as Nigerians, we have culture. We have, I don't know, it's just the decadence in the society that is causing all of this. But we have culture that we should respect. As an Hausa lady, if I know that going out without my veil is going to put me in trouble, I won't go out without my veil. As a Christian lady, if I know that, okay, what I'm wearing is actually not cool, it's not actually something I can actually go out with, I shouldn't do that. But with the society, be like, okay, dress to kill, just dress to kill, dress to kill. That is what is actually killing us. When you dress to kill, you go, somebody looks at you from his mirror, maybe from his car, he looks at you and then he gets accidents. You've actually dressed to kill. You've killed somebody, isn't it?
Okay, so that we've heard from people on the streets on good manners and our composure, etiquette. Are we truly losing it, Kevin?
Well, it's a mixed grade for me in the sense that we're actually evolving. Society is evolving, and because we have these mixed cultures in Nigeria, Nigeria is not a monopolistical country. Nigeria is more of a cosmopolitan nation. You have different cultures, different traditions, and the fact that we have access to digital information and all media comes to the country, the likelihood of these things to evolve is actually there. So we're not necessarily losing it, although, yeah, some people are taking things to the extreme because we see some of these things on our screens and tend to play them out in reality. So with the nature-nurture relationship that we're supposed to be having is where we should be focusing on. What cultures do we have? Traditional belief system, our religious belief system, how we imbibe that in our children to see that they grow up with such kind of cultures and get it. If we generalize things, then we're actually not making helping ourselves. We cannot generalize it. We have to look at it from cultural basis or traditional basis or religious basis. If you're a Christian and you're dressed in some kind of manner that completely conflicts your tenets, then there's a problem. If you are a Muslim, you dress it's expected that there's expected standards, based on our religion, expected standards based on our cultures, so we have to look at it from that perspective
Yeah.
before we can say we're losing it.
Yeah. There was something about what the guy said, Titi. He said, hooking up and flexing, which are words you hear a lot. I don't know what your thoughts are about that. It resonated to me because I was like, okay, I hear hooking up a lot, but I didn't actually relate it to prostitution as such. Do you think it's the same thing?
I think so. Hooking up, I've heard even guys talk about hooking up as in let's hook up someplace, and at the end of the day, what they want to hook up to do is let's just get high on something.
Yeah.
You see ladies say let's hook up at a particular place. We have some online platforms now, it's the hookup platforms.
Yeah.
There's a guy in my church actually on Sunday, we were just talking, and he said he drives he has an Uber service, and one guy in the car, I think was a passenger, spoke to him and said, you know what, we can do a hookup with some of these older ladies. There's a platform right now that you can, if you register on it, just give me your name, I'll put you on it. Somebody will just call you and say, I need someone for maybe 2 hours. They're all older women, gigolos, or using gigolos, we call them.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this car you're driving, forget, in 1 month, you're going to change it. He was like, tell me about this.
Wow.
So instead, he just let the guy on to let him finish. He said, okay, I'm going to send you my name. I said, yes, I'll just put you on. It's a hookup. So there are these women. So it's a platform right now. And for them, it's legit right now.
Yeah.
So this kind of things are happening. And the guy called it a hookup, actually.
I know Coach is waiting to say something. So why don't you just go ahead?
About the hookup?
Yeah.
Well, I honestly, for me, I didn't know hookup meant prostitution. I would just think hookup is let's meet somewhere.
Hang out,
have a lunch date. I could tell you let's hook up later in the day and have lunch. So honestly, for me, it's just meeting someone, socializing. But in the context, she said it's definitely prostitution.
But that's what it is.
But
that's what it is, because they use words that we're familiar with as codes to carry out these things. Hookup is basically it.
Wow.
It's simplifying what society will frown at and making it to be more acceptable. So a guy is going to a particular state or location, is asking for hookups so that to get someone who can come in to pass the night with him, or a girl is coming to and she's asking for the same thing. So society is actually evolving in such a manner that we are losing it completely. But we have to begin to look at it from those bases I actually mentioned earlier.
In that context, I think I agree. In that context, I think it's within context.
Right.
If you are traveling and you are in a new place in a hotel and you tell someone that I need someone to hook up with for the night, of course it means prostitution.
Yeah.
But if I tell her, can we hook up later? I'm asking her out to lunch.
It's a lunch, but I'm saying that those words that we're used to is actually being used. There are coinages now as codes.
Yeah.
If you look at our kids, they send short messages that you don't even understand what it means.
True that.
It's scripted. They come up
very
with
cryptic messages. Yeah. Now, Kevin, I know you have kids. Do you think that our children are losing? He talked about people giving handshakes to old men. Are your children like that? I don't think so. My kids are. I have 7-year-old twins. My children will not shake their grandfather. They know what to do. So I don't think we are losing it completely. Maybe to some extent, but I think there are some parents out there.
What he said was a bit generalized, which is actually out of place. Everybody, like I said, I'm not from that Western part where you have to prostrate or do those things. We know how we greet our parents. I'm from the Niger Delta region, and yes, you have to do some form of obeisance and gesticulations, but not necessarily prostrating. And my kids, they wake up in the morning. With today's reality, we do hugs. You say, come here, baby. You give a kiss on the forehead and all of those things.
Yeah.
If they grew up with such kind of culture, and I would often tell them, look, you don't fear anybody, you only respect. So if you don't know the person's name, you ask for the name. You greet him by the first name with a preface with it.
Yeah.
To show, you don't call somebody auntie or uncle. No, the person's not your uncle or auntie. Don't say that.
Okay.
We need to teach the kids in this other perspective. Now, they know, my kids see you on the road, they greet you like as if they know you before, sir or ma. And people tend to look at them like, what are these ones? They are so, bushy, kind of, Yeah, people say that to them. In some cases, we're walking on the road and greet someone, they don't even answer them, they don't even respond.
Yeah, it happens.
They don't even respond. So I told them, see, if you're walking and the person's not looking at you, don't say hello.
Don't say hello.
Yeah, don't say hello.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's sometimes embarrassing when you greet someone, the person doesn't respond. They feel it. But because they tend to want to show respect at home, to give me that validation, they tend to do it often whenever we're out.
Yeah.
And that is weakening them. That's what I want for them.
But Coach, do you agree?
You know?
Actually, I don't, honestly. I teach my kids to greet everyone they come across, regardless of who the person may be. When we're working together and my baro is passing by and he's older, I tell you, say hello. It doesn't matter the class. Sometimes they answer them, sometimes they don't. And I make them understand it's not on you, it's on them. You are a bigger person. You are doing the right thing. If they don't answer, it's all about them. And I tell them sometimes you don't even know what the person is going through. Perhaps he didn't even hear you because he has so many things he's thinking about. So I make them not to even worry about the response, just their own duty, obligation to say hello. And I think that's where we're getting it wrong. And what she said again about, someone said something about the society and westernization. The truth is, it's declining. We are emulating the white people, Europeans, their standard, and it's not us. And I tell people most of the time, anything to do with etiquette, it's basically accepted behavior.
Yeah, but Coach, we can't wrap our kids in bubble wrap and protect them from what's out there. They will be westernized to some extent.
To an extent.
To an extent. There's TV, there's social media. We can't, I don't know, Titi, if you have anything to say about that, but I think so.
Can I add something?
Yeah, sure.
For me, I don't think it's all about a bubble wrap. It's all about empathy. Because what I teach them is whatever you do, however you treat people, it should be the way you want to be treated. So it's all about how you want to be treated. And if everybody is empathetic towards other people, then we will not be mean. If you don't want another person to be mean to you, you will not be mean to another person. So it's just about being kind to people. And I think that's what we're losing now. People are no longer kind.
Yeah. Being kind, empathy is key. When I said I don't want them to just say hello, because see, you know how you feel. If I say hello to you, you don't respond. You feel bad, right? So what you do next time, you want to be able to be sure that the person is looking at you. So if there's no eye contact, you don't say hello.
No, I understand that.
So you don't miss the point, or you don't get embarrassed that, because someone is not saying hello back to you or not responding. That was the point I actually made.
Right.
Empathy is key. It's something that we don't have anymore, that we need to begin to teach people. And that's what I know I actually put my kids. I'm actually very intentional with my kids. Very, very intentional. And it's important that we teach them how to show empathy in relationship and in how things flow. Because that's the best way we can get results. Or else we'll miss it.
Yeah,
you know,
Titi, your thoughts on empathy?
Well, first of all, I'll say that it's about upbringing, actually. Most of us are a result of where we've come up from. So I'm Yoruba. My frustration is, of course,
second nature.
But my kids don't frustrate to get me in the
They
morning.
don't?
No. And I don't even see anything. I've never really looked at it like, you should. I don't know. I guess I've been out of the house for a while anyway. And I grew up also kneeling, but today, if I go home and see my parents, I'll still kneel down to meet them. I don't have a daughter anyway, so maybe if she wasn't kneeling, I would have said,
okay.
But it was until I visited my kids some time ago, and my son I was greeting my mom in a certain way. I said, your children don't know how to prostrate. Wow. Like, and it was kind of a reminder for me at that moment, like, oh, that's true. Because maybe somewhere, and maybe elderly people as well, like my parents, and they're just greeting like, hello, grandpa, and they're just passing, and the guy is wondering, you don't know how to frustrate. Your mother not teach you that. But the truth also is that Western culture, we've had a lot of infiltrations over the years. Our kids are exposed to a lot of Western media. Even we are parents, we reprogrammed, whether we like it or not. Some of us have been reprogrammed without even knowing it. It's until someone says something and I'm like, oh, that's true.
We've let our guard down.
Yeah, that's it. And the interesting thing, I had a boss, the program manager when I was on the UK project.
Okay.
And they've lived in the UK for as long as I can remember. So she came around for this project. And anytime our kids come in, the guy prostrates like with his entire chest on the ground. I was like, my God. I had to tell her, like, is this how this guy greets everyone? He said, yes. I've told him, he's a Yoruba boy. Even in London, where we live, if we go visiting any of our friends, he has to prostrate. That is it. And I see him do that. The way he goes on the floor, in fact, I'm like, let's help you. Even the daughter. I'm like, it's really about upbringing. She has to taught her children exactly that.
But speaking about daughters, do you think we were harder on the girls in terms of you have to be a lady, you have to behave, you have to, be a certain way versus the boys? I know you have boys, but what do you think about girls? Do you think we're being a bit too hard on our girls?
I think our parents were harder. We are not.
They were harder on us.
Yeah, they were harder on us. Yes. And I think they made a mistake. And we cannot make the same mistakes our parents made. I have raised my children. When my kids were growing older, they became teenagers. We had a timetable. Everybody had a day. The boys had a day. The girls had a day. On your day, it's your turn to cook. Okay. To clean and to make sure everybody comes down for prayer. You are responsible for that day. And I didn't think that simply because you're a boy, so you shouldn't cook, you shouldn't clean. And but you see, that's different from our parents. Our parents raise girls to work and serve. And I keep saying it. I have this program I do on mental health. We have been raised to serve. Serve our parents, serve our siblings, serve society. And when you grow older, you're going to serve your husband, serve your in-laws. You're always serving. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a noble thing. But we weren't taught to serve ourselves as well. So all we do is serve, serve, serve. And we have to change that narrative. I raise my daughters to understand that before they can give out to others, they should give to themselves first. You cannot give what you don't have. So I don't distinguish between the boys and the girls. You must, in fact, I make the boys work harder. Perhaps it's not fair, but I do, because I tell them, you are men and you have to be able to raise good children as well. So serve your family. So both should serve. And the thing about, sorry, can I add something? There's something about our culture. No matter how much we try to emulate the Western culture, we need respect. I think the core of our culture as Africans is respect. Today you talk to a child, you're talking to a child and the child is playing with his phone. Can you imagine doing that to your mother? Really? She's talking to me, I'm looking somewhere. See, I don't even have touch phone, I should look at somewhere else. But today it's happening.
You know what? There's a rule. When I take my kids to my mother's house, no devices, none whatsoever. She's like, I want to engage my grandchildren. Don't bring any tablet, phone, what? No, because she wants to see and study their behavior, everything.
Intentionality.
Yes. So it's a no device zone when we go to grandma's place,
which is good. I mean, this is something that some other person can actually copy. Because now that you mention it, some other person can. I didn't know that. But you always know that once it's time for grandma, that you need to give grandma's time. It's key. Connecting the kids to that is also important. We don't get to sexualize and create this gender disparity. Every child must be groomed to show empathy and to show leadership. At home, I have a boy and a girl that lives with me, and my kids, there's no difference between the boy and the girl in the context of responsibility. In the context of service, the boy understands that he needs to show care. In the context of service, again, she needs to show respect. Because the thing is that it is my adulthood I get to know that a woman needs to understand how to feed the boy and the man and to respect the king that he is. It's also in this adult I get to know that the man needs to be able to play with the girl and the woman and to affirm the queen as she is. Without these two, responsibilities, we find ourselves grooming kids that becomes delinquent children, adults, or very responsible people. We spend more time, training the girl child and do nothing to the boy child. And at the end of the day, the boy child comes up as a man, very responsible man, and showing machoism and all of those things, which is not about humanity. Benevolence is key in our development. Once we begin to teach them benevolence, then they go out there to begin to treat people likewise. I give an instance. My kids went to boarding house and they were always out for the truth and benevolence, but they were called different names. Snitch, all of those things and stuff like that. It became a struggle for them to survive in school. So when they came, I said, look, there's a street smartness that is needed. And that's what you need to be able to play it cool, not allow yourself to become a victim. So you have to learn the survival trait. It's key that I taught them that.
Okay.
It's after that experience, they have to now start teaching them how to be able to survive on the streets. Because at home, they all know that, look, you have to speak the truth at all times. And the guy out there speaking the truth put them into trouble. So what do? Street smartness require that, they need to know when to tell the truth and who to tell the truth to, and not necessarily speaking at all times to want to defend, the universe, because you can't defend the universe, except of course you are the Almighty.
They're children. Well, I won't call them children now. They're older, young adults now in work environments, and you can see them maybe in elevators. You're in the elevator, you're trying to go out, but there's a rule of thumb when it comes to entering an elevator. Let the person in the elevator come out before they're pushing you, they're coming in, they're brushing against you in the corridor. You know what I'm talking about, Titi. It's back in the days when my dad, I hear his car come into the compound, everybody jumps up. You're picking his suitcase, someone is helping him with it. He was in the army, so you're picking one thing or the other to get into the house, and a lot of us aren't doing that. You enter the house and your kids are watching TV, like, okay, you're here back.
They might
welcome.
not even welcome you. They just
But-
look up to acknowledge that we saw that you came in.
You know,
Okay?
but let's talk about the young adults that we find in work environments that brush up against you. And is it that they just don't know any better, or they just don't have the patience?
Right. So I'll say two things. Life skills should be taught at home. I love it when I see young people say, "Oh, my mother taught me this." When you see that they have some really good character, and "Oh, my father taught me this."
Yeah.
Man, I feel very proud of their parents when they say those things. Like, I hope this is what my children are saying. That's really, it goes a long way. And because of the authenticity that comes with it, is my father, is my mother. I learned this from them. They take it, they just take it, and they also execute the same in their life.
Yeah.
But then, of course, there's what we call etiquette. We've talked about it. So it's acceptable rule of behavior. I think our young adults need to be taken through sessions like that.
Yeah.
I want to say this. So there was a time in my church, we had this Sunday school. The Sunday school topic is a Sunday school church meeting. The title was social etiquette. For the first time in how many years I've joined this mission, that was that year the social etiquette was taught. And there were like almost 15 rules of behavior in that thing. I was one that even taught it. When I said, I'm going to teach this one. I love to teach something like this. And like a year after, I was doing a review. And I said, okay, last year, what were the lessons you took away from Sunday school? Somebody said, that teaching on social etiquette was my deal breaker. That I never even knew a lot of the things that for the first time, and I'm hearing this in church, and it's been taught in church, things about, even about using your phone when you're talking to someone was there, entering the elevator, saying good morning. I think she mentioned like two things that she never heard that was really
thank you.
I'm telling you, she was like, wow, that she was somewhere and she would have acted, the opposite. But when she remembered that training, she just behaved herself. And somebody had to comment on that. Wow, you're so well behaved. She was like, hey.
So that means we have to depend on churches, mosques, and
yeah, we need to continue to.
If they're not learning it at home,
It's not necessarily churches, mosques. Since church mosque comes from the home.
Yes.
If we don't do it at home, we can't take it to the church. It's not there. Those in the society, those who call leaders, those who look up to in our mosque, in our churches, or even in the far religion, where because oftentimes in Nigeria we only recognize two religions. I mean, we have multiple religions in this country, so we have to continue to give those people the credit. If we're not teaching the right culture, the right etiquette at home, we can't get it out there.
Right.
There's no two ways about it. Life is about what you put in is what you get out. So we need to be more deliberate. It's unfortunate that parenting is not taught anywhere.
Right.
It's unfortunate, because we are all experiential people, right? We saw what our parents were doing, we copy part of what we're doing, we sap it, and when we become adults, we want to practicalize those things we saw happening. Or the things we didn't even like from our parents, we start seeing ourselves subtly doing those things.
Yes.
Because it's a sponging effect. And so what are we doing as a society to ask ourselves what are the basic etiquettes that we need to relate with? I used to give this example. In Nigeria, we oftentimes say that people are currently dressing clad, naked, and all of those things. And you go to Zulu land, people are dressed naked. And you're like, okay, so what is happening here, right? So what are we doing? Do we really have a culture as a people? Do we really have a culture? Do we really have standards we're looking up to? Of course, there are standards. But those standards are in pocket sizes, based on our religion, based on our traditional belief systems. So when we come out to the general public, to the larger society, we are actually coming out with those pockets of cultures and traditions and religion or the faith that we were groomed with. So we get out to the larger society. Do we as a country, do we have national values that we are inculcating in our people? Yes, we do, but not being taught. That's the sad part. Not being taught in our schools. I grew up learning some of those things, and that's why I'm a bit cultured in the manner that I'm cultured. Or else Western influence would have taken over. Because when you see these things, it's allowed, it's applauded, someone goes up stage, slaps somebody on the stage, and is given an applaud. No, you tell me. That is you programming.
So,
we should frown at it.
So let me just quickly add to this. Even on the etiquette issue, offices, public, we talk about creating awarenesses and orientation. Even our offices, we have a role to play. I remember there was a training I was to do for a major parastatal of government, and because we're moving to the new building, and the DG is of the opinion that he needs to take his staff on what etiquette is all about. So we had to put in etiquette of using the elevator, as in everything, of using the restrooms, because these are issues. You use the restroom and the whole place is upside down, you don't flush, you stay in the elevator, you move, you want to come in, people want to come out, you want to enter an elevator, some people want to step out, give them that chance to come out, and then you can go in. So we had quite a bit, even on as simple as email etiquette.
Yeah.
It was really interesting.
I'm
They
so
found
glad.
they found that so interesting. If you see questions, grown men, some were even close to retirement, they're like, wow.
They didn't know.
They did not know.
Yeah.
Like
And it's
even
very
shaking
important.
handshake, how
Yeah.
do you shake the limp handshake and the powerful
Strong
handshake that
one.
shows
Wow.
confidence? That
There are two
was
types.
it was a powerful training. It was
Also,
like 2 sessions.
we have a
and
text
their life
message
was
that
not
came in.
didn't
Good
remain the
morning.
same.
Thank you very much. I'm learning a lot. I like the fact that you talked about even toilet etiquette, if I can use that word, because some people go in and maybe pee and come back without washing their hands, and you expect to shake other people. That's basic etiquette. You need to wash your hands when you come out of the loo. You know.
I think for me, toilet etiquette is beyond that. I teach my kids, even in the public restroom, when you go in, clean it up. If I walk into in a public bathroom, I go into a restaurant and I spill water, I look for a mop. I clean it and wash my hands. Because that's the problem. You go into a bathroom, even within the home, you go in, use it, and leave it messed up. For who?
For who?
The simple rule is live it better than you met it.
Live it better than you met it.
That's the simple
This
rule.
is something we have to keep on teaching them.
Yes, and you know what? Littering comes to mind as well. When we take something in the car and just toss it out of the car. We do that a lot.
I look at it and I keep asking, maybe we should start arresting people. My kids,
No,
they
we
know when
should.
you even take sweet in the car. Leave it in the car.
Leave it in the
When
car
we
until
get
we get
home,
home.
you trash it. But I see people who are educated and cultured throw things out of the car onto the street.
Same people complain much later. I said the environment is dirty. You know, the first time I traveled to the US, we're driving on one of the intersections, and I wanted to actually do the things we do in Nigeria to actually speed out. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is so clean. I can't do this here. The consciousness of the fact that, you know, so I came back, and that really taught me a great lesson. I came back and realized that a lot of things we take for granted here and we do and think is normal. It's actually really abnormal. Really abnormal. You see, it actually starts from culture. My kids are my accountability officers because we drive, often we're always together. So if I'm driving, if I must say bad things, they're there, right? If I need to beat the traffic, they're there. If I need to speed out, they're there. If I need to throw trash out, they're there. So I was driving 2 days, we're going to school, and I was picking up the phone. My son said, Daddy, you're driving, you're using the phone. I said, oh, really? Sorry. And I apologize, right? Drop the phone. Such kind of consciousness. What am I teaching the kids? Tell me what will happen tomorrow. They'll get to know that, okay, this is not right to be done. Because if you can't do it in my presence, don't do it in my absence. Right? That's the rule. We need to teach people. But how do you teach them when they don't know? How do you teach people when they don't know? When you don't even know?
It's by being an example. I think and being an example. I always say this over and over again to parents. We are the mirror of our children.
Yes.
They see what we most of the time we're more of talkers. We talk, we don't do. So you can't keep talking and expect them to do it. No, you have to they emulate you. Do what you think is right and they will follow suit. I think it's simple.
Kids will always do what you do, not what you say.
Absolutely.
It's
I was going to ask her about that. There should be a certain. Does that mean I need to be always prim and proper around my children? I can't really be myself if I'm
important. I don't mean the word important.
I don't think that's feasible. You can't be prim and proper all the time.
Yes.
What I teach kids is to understand that, look, I know this is what's right, and I tell you this is what we are supposed to do, but I make mistakes sometimes. Just like he said, my kids correct me. There was a day I beat traffic. They said, Dee, you beat traffic. And then, did you say it's wrong? I said, yes, I shouldn't have done that. But I said, I shouldn't have done that. It was wrong.
And that's something our parents never did. They never admitted.
No.
They were perfect.
They never admitted they were wrong.
In fact, we never even tell them when they're wrong. We just
can we tell them? Do you know how many
Okay.
times my kids have told me that didn't you say this a wrong thing to do, but you just did it?
All right. Yeah.
We teach our kids to express themselves. We weren't allowed to express ourselves.
Yes, we weren't back then.
No, right,
Good morning. My name is Shegun. I feel the society at large needs to understand the meaning of etiquette. It starts from home, and I think even at schools they do things like that.
They used to.
In my daughter's school, they asked us to bring, plates and cutlery and the rest, and they all simulated a proper dinner. And
That's for only eating then.
That's just
But you see, there are schools. For example, can I mention names?
Right.
The Doveland International School, for example. As you walk into Doveland International School, the first child you see and the next child say, "Good morning, ma'am." But every day I'm in awe because that's what. For me, like, you know why that's why I repeated it. It's so important because it's our culture to greet elders.
Right.
Today you pass a young child and they just look at you and walk past. You know,
So many times
I'm
you see.
telling you. So when I go to that school every day, I can't believe it. If you pass 100 kids, they will stop and say, good morning, ma'am. If you pass a janitor, he will say, good morning. If you pass a cleaner, so it's a culture, they inculcate it. And I think it's something we should all inculcate.
So let me just add to that. It's important that we also put that in the curriculum. See, education is very key. For if you want a change in any nation, education is key. Our curriculum from primary school, from even when the child gets into school, I think we should inculcate etiquette, and it probably should be at every level, not even GSS 3. Every year,
Every single level.
You have to keep reminding them and let them.
So it becomes part
practice
of the
thing.
culture.
Yeah,
It's
because
there.
we can do a lot with cultural reorientation from the school.
And
So the
that brings
parents
to
that
the
failed,
point.
at least they can be
That
helped.
brings in the point of deliberateness of the system. If those in position of authority don't see it as a responsibility to see the need to have our educational system imbibed with our cultural differences, right? And put that in our curriculum. So you start teaching different cultures in schools. So the kids from a Karam mother will understand that whatever you see from the other person is not strange.
Right.
And not see himself to be overly righteous than the man who is not doing what he's not supposed to be doing. Because we have cultural differences. The first day someone saw me eat, back then in school, I'd cooked, and I was eating swallow, and like, oh my God, what are you doing? To him, like, it was strange. It's from the north. It was strange that somebody is eating this kind of mold and all of those things. So,
It was strange.
it was strange.
We'll get back to this, your story with the mold. This is Conversation here on NTA Network. We'll take a quick break. We're talking about good manners and decorum. We'll be right back after this.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet, and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International. Your window through the world.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take his pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start up the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh,
For me, it's like hurry up with this business. And the other one said, I think it's not about me, it's about the guys. They're not ready to marry.
If she wants to ask something, no, I know my mother very well. In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. I got time.
All right, we're talking about good manners, decorum, embracing our culture here in the conversations room. When you talked about the mold and the mouth, I distinctly remember in primary 5, I came to school with amala, and so the kids laughed at me, so I was so embarrassed. And I love amala. I do. They're like, but it's so black and
Yeah.
and they probably eat it in their homes, but everyone was just
For me.
Posh,
for me. Thank you.
Tend to want to be the posh kind of things. We should not deny ourselves or our kids the opportunity to be who they really are. Societal validation, the need for society is part of what is actually driving us living pretentious lives. I mean, that is killing us. My kids have taken my local food to school before. What we call the onunu and stew onunu is actually mashed ripe plantain, very ripe plantain with yam, mixed with oil. Then there's some local spices. You pound it like you pound pounded yam, right?
Okay.
And the mold comes up. Then you have delicious stew to mash with it. So you're like, what are you eating? Kind of. I thought they were shy. I said, no, take it to school. Let them know what you have. You know, even yam pepper soup, fish pepper soup, you take to school.
Wow.
Then it's well packaged, you take to school. You see, because for me, it's basically living my culture in reality and living me. You see, if I'm not proud of who I am, then I'm not supposed to be hanging around with people. So if you don't want to accept it for who I am, then forget it. So that's confidence building also for the kids.
Right.
You know, yeah, some kids will laugh at them because some parents tend to send their kids to be bullies unintentionally. You know, they make them feel too special. Meanwhile, they're not that way. So they get to see other kids not understand their culture. They don't teach them to know, look, there are different types of food. The first day I saw me a cooker, right? What is this? Blackish and looking this and what's this? And like
Greenish,
and
actually.
okay, no, some cook greenish, they're thick green stuff. And like, what's this? Like, so I tasted it. It was nice. I'm like, but you guys don't even eat good food, right? Because from where I'm coming from, you have a lot of protein and other spices that comes with your food. I mean, there's no way you see a reverse man cooking his food that you won't see all of the seafood kind of things that comes alongside. And you go up there, you see people eating. So you have to learn to, accept other people's culture, for who they are.
Okay, we have a message. It says, my name is Chris from Chikoi, Abuja. I appreciate you guys and the topic. You guys are doing a good job. Growing up as a kid, there was no segregation when it comes to responsibilities at home, either the boy or the girl child. In fact, I usually do most of the pounding and grinding at home, and it has helped me even as an adult in assisting my dear wife. Thank you.
Wow,
like
lovely. That's what we call romance in the kitchen.
You know?
And there's no wife that doesn't like the husband cooking.
Truly.
Not all of them.
Oh,
But the way you're talking,
once in a
Kevin,
while.
I think you do a bit of cooking.
Yeah, I do. I do. I did a master class last year. Tag romance in the kitchen for men. Because the truth is that we need to be able to at least get into the kitchen sometimes to do something for our wives or our partners for them to see. The only thing I don't want to accept is for wives to want to domesticate their husbands. It is not something you should ever think of doing. Never domesticate your husband. Allow the man to domesticate himself for you. But that's what gives him who he is and makes him to show that he's loving you. And also never you try to domesticate your wife, because making her feel that that's our responsibility. It is something that we must come to understand that we are equal partners. There must be a leader, no doubt about it, but allow the individual to be that individual. If she's doing what she's doing, appreciate the fact that she's doing that. Not saying it's our responsibility. What that does is that you start making her to feel like she's a slave or servant to you. She isn't a slave or servant, because when it comes to the time when we get to the bed, we're equal. You see that? We're equal.
Very true.
And in most times, if they want to deal with you, you know what it means. Okay, so that's it. So we need to. So cooking is something we must all learn. My little boy is 14. He's going to be 14 in the next 2 months. He cooks. Deliberately, if I even have the name, he's a chef.
Okay.
Chef Boyo, So he cooks. The girl cooks. Responsibilities are given to them. It's a deliberate effort to ensure that, not because tomorrow I don't want to be a slave, no, so that they don't get stranded.
That's it. Yes.
They don't get stranded for any reason. In fact, they cook their lunch food, in the morning.
There's a message that came in, and I'm going to throw this to you, Titi. It says, Good morning. My name is Ufanima. I have a question. Does this mean etiquette is not subject to change? For instance, it's not African culture to eat with cutlery, but we do that sometimes. We emulate it. What's wrong with greeting an elderly one with a handshake? Etiquette is changeable. I just want to know.
Okay, so I think etiquette should cut across. So we're looking at cultures. There are basic principles in etiquette, basically. So we're saying when you greet anyone, you greet them with respect. Etiquette will say you have to prostrate, no, because that's somebody's culture. Etiquette will say you have to hug, because that's not someone's culture. Some have to kneel down. So when we say general rule of behavior, it connects everyone somehow. It's not what's that word? It's not unique to one person or the other, but we should practice it across board. Wherever you are right. That's what it means. So so we can't say prostrating is an etiquette, no. But we can say greet elders, greet your elders. And when you're greeting them, that's when you see an elderly person, you greet the person. Whatever we want to greet the person, whether you want to kneel down, you want to have a handshake, you want to hug, but show that, good morning, sir. There's that courtesy. So that is teaching courtesy.
That's awesome.
When we talk about eating, we're saying don't speak with you're speaking while you're talking. That's a general thing.
Slurping your tea, or your drink.
So when we come to dining, the dining etiquette with a fork and knife, that's in itself, that's peculiar to fork and knife. You also will have etiquette in China. They show you how to use the chopsticks. So those are unique
And in Africa, we use our hands.
Yeah, that's it.
And so
In African countries,
invariably,
we use our
if you're
hands.
eating an
That's
African
great.
food and requires you to use your hand, use your hands.
That's it.
Why would you want to do like the Westerner? You pick up your cutleries and you have your knife on your left hand and your fork in your right hand. Why would you want to do that? That is not an etiquette. That's the wrong etiquette. The culture says right and left. And so that's what you should go by. If you want to use your hand, please use your hands comfortably.
That's it.
On the table. But if you are in a public function and it requires for people to behave in that decent manner, you have to learn to be like them in that place. Uniformity of responsibility is something that's required for public settings. If you go to your private place, it's fine, you do that. But if it's in the public place and it's required, it's what is the etiquette of that culture. Please respect it. If you're going to eat noodles and it's in a Chinese man's place, then you learn to use the etiquette. I visited a Korean friend and they offered corn and all of those things. I saw them using chopsticks to eat the corn, chips, everything to eat. I'm like, wait a minute. I was looking at them. I'm watching. What do I do here now? You know? I'm like, no, you can, Kevin, you can. I said, okay. I put this in. Immediately I had to learn how to use the chopsticks. To also pick my corn, pick all the things I needed to pick. And I left that place.
Adapted to suit you. Wow.
Which is